What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Golden Dice Podcast. My name is Jack. I'm joined by Flockton, Scott, and Brian. And today we got some exciting little exploiting.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna exploit the game with some of these cards. We got two spoilers
There you go.
from FFG. So big thank you to them for supporting us, supporting all the content creators. It's been a lot of fun to see like 4 to 5 content creators get to two cards each week. So we have two cards for you here. We're going to pretty much just dive right into it. This is not meant to be a long video from us. So I'm not even going to ask the guys how they are doing. We're just going to assume great and dandy.
Yep.
And we'll jump right in.
Let's go.
So the first one, Adelphi Patrol Wing, a space unit, 5 cost, heroism command, 4 attack, 6 health, New Republic vehicle fighter, and it has a when played, you may attack with a unit. If you have the initiative, it gets +2 for this attack. Little budget fleet lieutenant, with a +2 attack. Not budget because it's more expensive, but the
the opposite of budget.
The more expensive, the more flashy. A 4/6 body in space, but I think it feels a little weird to play if you don't have the initiative to lose out on the +2. But I guess for 5, 4/6 isn't terrible in space.
It's still, the plus side is you get something even if you don't have initiative. You still get the action economy of the attack. So you basically get to, 2 actions at once, which is better than the alternative if it just was like, oh, if you have initiative, you can attack with a unit and it gets +2/+0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is also a good ECL card. Another one. No? You don't think so?
No.
Why
it's
not?
In space.
It's a space
So?
4/6. It doesn't have overwhelm, or it doesn't have like...
You could just kill something, and then I just wanted to say ECL so we could put it in that ECL jar.
Yes, you can in fact ECL it. It's not the absolute worst ECL thing that has ever existed, but it's also kind of meh.
It's a big A-wing with asterisks,
No, it's an X-wing.
Yeah.
It's a probably. Is it a T-70 or is it a T-85? I can't tell.
Oh yeah, I have no idea. What's the New Republic have? Do you know?
Both. The T-70 was like that's why the Resistance has a lot of T-70s because they were like the older model, and then the T-85 was like the new guy.
Gotcha.
I think it was T-85.
Well,
Poe, when he was flying to the New Republic, had a T-85, and then when he joined the Resistance, they had to go with a T-70. Yeah, that's a T-70. That's not a T-85. I'm looking at T-85 now.
And I will say it's relevant that it has 6 health. There's not a lot of stuff, even in space, that can hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like Fire Spray comes down next turn, doesn't kill it. Ghost comes down at 6, doesn't kill it.
It's got the same, attack and defense as the Ruthless Raider, just has a different on play, and it costs 1 less.
Arguably worse.
Significantly worse on play, but
yeah. And no one defeated, but
yeah.
I like it.
If it had when played and when defeated the same thing, that actually would be pretty insane.
Yeah. To
+2,
get an attack.
yeah, you can attack and get +2.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
I'm curious to see how much New Republic stuff we get. For now, it's like set 1 was so heavy with Rebels that, every time I see a card that doesn't have that keyword and I can't use like Fleet Lieutenant or Wing Leader, then I'm like, I don't know. Since this is more top end, that's fine. More so bottom stuff. You want to think about that in leaders, but I think this card is actually like pretty solid for a common. This is definitely something I'll be looking at my decks for space for 5-drop.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. But like you said, it's hard to tell how much we're going to get for New Republic. That's probably one of like the errors that is least explored by the various medias.
Yeah.
Like we really only have like the Mandalorian and Ahsoka. And like those really aren't focused on the New Republic portions of that era.
Yep.
It's everything else.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything but that. All right, cool. Any other thoughts on the patrol wing?
Cool.
Another space unit that people are going to accidentally put in the ground arena because it's in
The
atmosphere.
artwork, yeah, is in atmosphere. Yeah. Cool. All right, we will move on to our second card, and this was a comment, by the way. I don't remember if I had said that. Move on to our second one, which is much more exciting, a lot more to break down. We have a ground unit. We have Poe Dameron, quick to improvise. He is a 5-cost heroism aggression. He has 6 attack, 6 health. He's resistance, and he has an on attack. Discard up to 3 cards from your hand. For each card discarded this way, choose a different option. So the options are deal 2 damage to a unit or a base, defeat an upgrade, and an opponent discards a card from their hand. And he is a legendary. At the time of recording, I believe this is our second legendary. The only other one we have so far is the Mandalorian. I mean,
Are we the first content creators to get a legendary?
I mean, unless something comes out. So this is either Thursday or Friday, whenever Xander tells me to post it. But yeah,
That'd be pretty. Yeah. What did we do to deserve that? Absolutely
I don't know about.
nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
0.
Flock
You're
got
welcome.
A haircut. They knew he
You're
was
welcome.
getting a haircut. Yeah.
Yeah, Flockton got a haircut. That makes sense.
I mean, he seems really good. I mean, again, the only potential downside is does Sabine still go full on rebel package, and is he too awkward to use? But he just seems 5'6", and a lot of stuff that you can do with his ability.
Yeah, I mean he's damage that your opponent can't prevent if he gets to attack, in the sense that they get the 2 damage to the base no matter what. Defeat and upgrade is really nice utility, especially in the upcoming set where you're going to have significantly more upgrades, and opponent discards a card from their hand is unique utility. So I mean, he's definitely interesting, and I do like the fact that they're kind of playing off of the Black One ability, since he is the pilot of Black One, which that same discard a bunch of cards and something happens.
Yep. I was gonna say this looks like Black One Stonk's going up. You want to play this card for sure, because it comes out on turn 5 resources, and then Black One is 6. So if you have the Black One coming up, 6 resources, you can empty your hand, but Black One, and then draw more.
Yeah,
You don't need to do all 3 either every time.
Yeah, you don't need to do all 3. Yeah,
It's really versatile in the choices that you can make. Yep. You don't have to do all 3. You can do some. You can do all. You can do none. So, I mean, there's a lot going on for 5.
Yeah, 6/6 is a pretty big body.
5/6/6 with an on attack is nice.
Good legendary.
Yeah, and he's our third
legendary.
resistance. Black One was the first one, and then we've seen Rose so far.
Mm.
So the third resistance tag that we've seen. But yeah, I mean, at 5 too, there's really not much. I think IG-11 is the only other unit on curve that can trade with him.
Yeah, everything else, he legitimately, the clan challengers can if they get the attack.
That's right, because they're 3
they
attack
have
with
raid 3.
Yeah.
But legitimately, he is the highest stats out of any 5-drop we have.
Yeah. Yeah, he beats IG-11 by one more health.
1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a few that total out to 11. But yeah, none that, I'm just double checking, none that total out to 12. I mean, he's got better stats than some leaders that come in.
Yes.
Hey, don't talk about IG-88 like that, please.
I mean, the sheer fact that he can attack into IG-88 and still live while killing him.
That's pretty funny, yeah. And do 2 to base if you discard the discards a card from hand. Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like no matter what strategy you play, whether this goes into a Sabine or a Leia, or it goes into I mean, sure, it's a little weird, right? Because at 5 you want to put upgrades on him, but I'm trying to think more of a mid range, if Han plays him or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Cassian.
Yeah, Cassian, and he works into a mid range and a control too, because the discard from hand is also going to be relevant. If your deck wants to do more damage to base, he can do that. If they want to discard from hand, he can do that as well. I am curious how good the discard from hand is going to be, though, coming into set 2, because even if you dump their hand, they could still have like 2 to 3 cards they could play from
Smuggle
resources.
resources. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they're paying extra for it, so
They're
you know.
paying extra, and they're limited in what they can play.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's still. Think of all of like the power cards in set 1 that don't have smuggle. They're never. I mean, other than tech, they're never going to have smuggle. So you got to think like, you know, forcing cards out of your opponent's hand is still going to be pretty relevant. Plus, you're going to have all the power cards in set 2 that don't natively have smuggle or are prohibitively costly to smuggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But I could see there being more hand destruction because smuggle exists. Like, you know, you can definitely like amp up that mechanic without it being like as big of a feel bad if you can like, you know, be like, well, I can protect cards by putting them in a resource row and getting them out via their smuggle or whatever else things you get to trade out of resources, whether it be like Lando-esque abilities.
Yeah. I mean, I like him. My only complaint is that his title isn't They Fly Now, because that is that scene.
It is that scene.
Oh yeah.
They fly now? They
I
fly.
mean, I am like the 5 costs that don't have an on play ability. I'm a little like about, but like once we start getting to that realm, but I think he's still you know very very extremely aggressively statted. So I think he can still make a lot of decks despite not having that. Because you got to think like say like take like a Zeb Aurelios, like he has really only like come around in a number of decks because 1 you ECL him in, and 2 he's very good into like mirror matches and aggro.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like sometimes it can be a little slow when you actually have to just like play a 5 cost and then it doesn't do anything the second that it comes in.
Yeah.
And his.
But I think with that,
Go ahead, Flash.
you can go. I was gonna say with the 6 health, I think at least he can last.
Yeah, I agree.
Or worst case, they have to spend a lot of resources to get rid of them. If you drop them, they've got to do a lot to get rid of them. Either 2 units possibly, or even 3, or you know like an open fire with an attack. So that's like 3.
Yeah, like force stroke
so-
doesn't kill him.
Yeah, force stroke doesn't kill him, so you have to do something else too. So
Yeah, even
You're gonna-
even a lot of like overwhelming barrages don't necessarily kill him.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to be, you know, he would take a full overwhelming
has to be a 4
barrage
cost.
from a 4 attack, which is, you know, if you're going like.
Well, I mean, they are putting a lot of like you're starting to see more Gamorrean guards in like Boba
Yeah.
lists and stuff like that. So they are starting to get more 4s. I do like his that it's just an on attack, where someone like Zeb has to
After you
complete.
complete an attack.
But yeah, I mean, for 5, like a lot of the big ones actually are stapled to ECL a little bit too. Like Gideon Hask, Rook, Steadfast Battalion, Zeb, as you mentioned. Seven Sisters really good, but obviously in GI, Bosk already has Ambush. And those are just kind of like the meta 5 drops we're seeing already.
Yeah, and you know, if you think of it from the standpoint of like he trades into like everything but like the Steadfast Battalion, he can, you know, they ECL that you know, they have that in, you know, he can ECL into a lot of stuff.
He does technically trade with it. It just dies at the end
Yeah.
of the round, not
That's fair.
on the attack.
He dies to fell the dragon, so he's bad.
Yeah, he does die to fell the
Okay.
dragon. But all right, well, any other comments before we're at 13 now? So any other thoughts, comments, concerns, questions about Poe Dameron?
Nasty. Looks
Yep.
pretty good.
Nice looking guy.
Yeah, real good.
Oscar Isaac, you know,
Solid
good
legendary.
looking
Seems
man.
like it can go in however you want to build heroism, aggression. But again, thank you to FFG for these spoilers. Thanks for sending them our way. Appreciate that you continue to look out for content creators and bring us in to be a part of the spoiler season. And we are close to a month out. We're like a month and a half out before we can get this set on our hands. Gen Con stuff got announced today. I'm feeling
Yeah.
very, very excited. So
Yeah. When's the actual set release?
July 12th.
12th, yeah.
So we get 2 weeks before Gen Con. That's nice.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
actually works out perfect.
Agreed. Hopefully we pull some Poe Damerons, but you know, we'll see. Like Brian will pull a Hyperfoil Poe Dameron, and I'll get maybe one, maybe. But anyways,
Don't worry about it.
appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate FFG for hooking us up, and we will catch y'all next time. Deuces.